let's compare the Lone Rider to the Big Agnes that I have. Let me just quickly put it up first. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Ride the Bean.
What's up?
We are now in the camp spots that we just arrived to in the previous video. And of course, we have to put up our tents now. But I thought since Jonathan has a brand new tent that he has never put up before, it would be fun to make a video about that tent.
Yeah.
Which tent is it?
It's the Lone Rider. Not the big one. With this one.
The Lone Rider ADV tent.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can you tell me about this tent?
I see this tent on many videos from a lot of people. And I chose this one because of that.
Do you know anything about it?
It's very strong tent. Good quality. Good quality. Easy to put, I think, on the ground.
See. Have you been camping a lot before? Are you used to sleeping in tents?
A long time ago. Before I sleep in my truck, but it's not the same. Yeah.
Let's see. So this has never been opened, right?
Yeah, never. I wait.
Yeah. Cool. Have a look at what's inside then.
It's whoa. Oh, you have the little notice on it inside.
Yeah. Instruction manual.
So I presume it's, I don't know the name in English, but
10 poles.
10 poles.
Yes.
Okay.
It's all just one.
I think it's all just one, yeah. Okay. What is this?
That's just extra, like if one of them breaks.
Oh, it's probably inside the tent.
That's inside the tent, yeah.
The little pocket inside the tent. Okay. Oh, more here. Ah, it's the. Okay, I see. Oh, we have a lot. What's inside that? Ah, it's for the ground.
Yes. It's got the SOS on it, probably. Yes.
I need the SOS. So. You're right.
That's pretty smart.
Help me. Okay.
That's the rain cover.
This is the last one. And probably the main.
Yes, that's the tent. So I think the way you do is just you put this out on the ground.
On the ground here?
Yeah. This is the short end.
Okay.
Both. So you just take these two ends and stick them into there, each end, and same here.
Okay. So I need to put that on the tent.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And when you mean inside, it's like that.
Yes.
Okay. Now it's stiffer.
Yeah. And then you just hook the rest of it onto.
Like this?
Yes.
Okay.
And then just hook the rest of the things onto it.
Okay. For now, it's easy. For the moment.
Well, this is it. Now you have the tent. So you can sleep in here when it's not raining. This is perfect.
It's just like that?
Yeah, just like this. And then you just throw that over and strap it down.
So in these two?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you do that all the way around.
Let's go. Looks good.
Simple as that. Yeah.
Looks
How was
good.
that? That took you what? 10 minutes?
For the first time.
10 minutes the first time putting up a tent?
Yeah.
That's not too bad. Yeah, this is a nice tent.
I think it's pretty good.
Have a look at it. What does it look like inside?
Huh.
You have a map of the world on it.
Yeah, and put a cross on what I do. So I put cross on France. Oh, it's already down inside. So, good night.
You think you'll be happy in here?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's for my little, my other thing, my extra.
The pocket. Cool.
Oh, we have space for 3 people like me.
3 skinny people.
Yeah.
That's the Lone Rider tent. Now let's compare the Lone Rider to the Big Agnes that I have. Let me just quickly put it up first. Let's see if the Nomad Sweden method still works. Whoa! It worked! Cool! I haven't lost a touch. Cool! Now we have both tents set up. So let's do a comparison. Of course, I bought this tent, the Big Agnes Hotel 3. It's a 3-person tent, so it's pretty big. And it's the Bikepack version. The reason I bought that was because of the pack size. It looked very small and smart when I bought it. And the reason I bought this particular tent was because of this part. It's like an extra outdoor area, or whatever you want to call it. This tent is it's a good tent, but I'm not 100% happy with it. As you can see in here, there's a lot of extra space, and I really enjoy that when I'm camping and it's raining and I can just stuff all my gear in here. The reason I bought this tent was because of this part, because I had the Lone Rider moto tent, the big one, and having that extra outdoor space was really useful when the weather was bad. And then inside there's a lot of space in this tent. A lot of space. It opens in a triangle like this, which I don't really like. That's kind of annoying. I wish it opened a whole way around. But inside here you have plenty of space. I can easily stretch out fully, both diagonally and yeah, every which way. There's a lot of space in here, and there's a nice little pocket up here for stuff and hooks to hang your lanterns in, and extra pockets up here, really useful. And on both sides you have an opening, so you have some extra space here as well, and you can just open and get airflow through if you need that. Extra pockets on the side here. It's really spacious tent, this, which is the reason I bought it. If we compare this to the Lone Rider Adventure tent, which is the tent I was actually thinking of buying before I saw this tent, and then I saw this that had the extra space, and I went for that instead. But the Lone Rider tent also has quite a lot of space inside. This is a 2-person tent, so of course it's not as big, but there's still a lot of space in here. So 2 people that are fond of each other can sleep comfortably in here. And you have a pocket up here, extra pocket for storing stash. You have pockets in the side here, and also here you have an entrance on both sides. Can't really open it one-handed though. That's a little bit of a downside. Oh yeah, here you can open and get airflow through. And the space here is usually enough to store stuff, but when the weather is really crappy and it starts touching the tarp and stuff, everything gets wet anyway. So this is where the Big Agnes has a leg up. But when it comes to most other things, I think this tent is better. Of course, it's not as spacious, but it packs even smaller, which I didn't know when I bought it. I thought the Big Agnes was the same size as this. The great thing about this tent is that it can stand alone. So even if you don't have a ground where you can put tent plugs in, like if you have to sleep on a concrete or asphalt or whatever at some point, you can do that with this tent because it's standalone. I can do that with the Big Agnes as well, but then this whole part, the extra space part, will just flap around. So these are the things that I like about both of these tents. When it comes to the Lone Rider, the reason I didn't bring the big Lone Rider is the size and the weight. That's the only reason, because that tent is amazing. I loved it. That, and it is impossible to use if the ground is not perfect, because it's so big. So you really need it to be stuck to the ground. And there was not enough tent plugs on it, or not enough guidelines like this on it. This one has more than the big Lone Rider tent for some reason. That doesn't make any sense. That's also something I'm missing on the Big Agnes. There's only 2 guidelines, and it should at least have 4 more to be useful in windy conditions. And both of these tents have this huge gap at the bottom. I guess here in France in summer, that's a good thing. But coming from where I come from, in Norway, where it's windy and the wind is cold all the time, you have this big gap. It gets really cold inside the tent because all the air blows straight in. And on the big Lone Rider this summer, I was really cold some days or some nights because of this gap. I wish there was a way to close it. Like on this tent too, this would be perfect if it was just like this, but with an option to put down a flap to protect it from the wind. That's a huge negative in most conditions that I have been riding in. I can see in some conditions when the weather is good, it's a benefit because it helps ventilate. But yeah. But all in all, I think both of these tents are pretty good. Of course, I haven't slept in the Lone Rider ADV tent yet, but I think it's pretty comfortable. This one is really comfortable to sleep in when the weather is right. But when it's windy, it's horrible. Everything blows in. And I can imagine in the Lone Rider as well, if it's... Jonathan is going to the store to get some food because we forgot to buy food. But yeah, like I said, I can imagine the Lone Rider as well. In sandy conditions, if you camp in the desert or something, it's probably terrible because all the sand blows straight in because there's no way to stop it. This is something I've always wondered. Why do tent makers always make it like this? It's never a good option to only have it like this, especially on a tent like this, which is meant for traveling in any conditions around the world. I don't get it. But in general, both of these tents are pretty good, and I would recommend them in most conditions, in most situations. I think if I had to buy them again, I would go for the Lone Rider tent instead of the Big Agnes because of the pack size. and because it's even easier to set up. It's not difficult to set up the Big Agnes either, but it's a little bit more hassle than with the Lone Rider. So yeah, that was a first look and little comparison between our two tents, the Lone Rider ADV and the Big Agnes Hotel 3 tent, Bikepack version. I hope you enjoyed this little video, this little comparison and first look at the Lone Rider ADV tent and comparison with the Big Agnes Hotel 3 tent. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see what Jonathan and I end up doing next, then click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next video when it comes out. And we will see you in the next video. Peace out. Now we're just gonna make some food and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful view of Lac de Saint-Croissant or something like that. Yeah, me and my French pronunciations. Croissant Lake, let's call it that.